Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I am so excited about these nails. These are probably some of my favorite nails I've ever done on a client, on myself, just in general. I really enjoy how these came out, the aesthetic of it, just the overall, the contrast, the brightness, the matte, the gold, just everything. So I have a long intro obviously of me just showing off these nails. I cannot stop looking at them at all. I just think they're so cute. They're so blingy. The contrast, like I said, the matte with the bling, the coordinating bling colors. I've never done a full bling nail like that middle nail. I'm just excited to show y'all how I did these. I actually, this was inspired by a set I did some years ago, and it was nowhere to this level. I really expanded upon the idea. So these are my little raggedy, little wide, raggedy, say how many times can you say raggedy, nubs. And I'm just cleaning them up. I kind of prepped the day before, I'm sorry, with my ums. And because I spent a lot of time planning out this set, I have different sample nails over here, and I was just plotting on it. So I kind of prepped my nails the day before a little bit, but you can hardly tell. They were just so very bad. That's how bad they were that I did prep and you can hardly tell. But since you're at this point, you might as well subscribe, turn the alarm on so you know when I'm post. I promise y'all I'm gonna be posting more frequently, so turn that bell on. So I prepped my nails, I removed the cuticle, roughed up the surface. That's really it. Like I said, I cleaned them up the day before. I clipped all the dead skin and stuff. And excuse my natural nails. I tear my nails off, and you're not supposed to. And I'm a nail tech, and I need to tell you, do not do that. Okay. So I'm using these tips, and these are similar to the Daily Charm full cover nail tips. They're not. These are sample ones that I'm trying out, and they're like an extra long length. But I'm using the Daily Charm extension system or full, whatever. You see what I'm using. Their nail tip extension gel, their no lifting bonder, and their dehydrator. So I'm using those products, but with these tips. So I did actually just order some of their extra long coffin tips. I don't know how similar they will be to these, so I'll just have to see, but I just ordered them today. But today could be in the future, depending on when you watch this video. Who knows? So I'm actually, because they're so long and I know I'm going to be putting some crystals on them, I want them to be strong. So what I'm doing is I applied bonder underneath the nail. One, you see I roughed it up. I removed the shine from underneath the nail with a bit quickly. And then I applied some of that extension gel. I wanted to build up the apex on the nail, but because we have a smooth, beautiful surface and the nail's already pretty much 95% shaped correctly, I don't want to mess with that. You're removing the ease of this if you do that. So I built it up from underneath, and I basically applied a thin layer of the extension gel towards the middle where the apex would be. I applied a little more. I cured that. And then I applied the nail. So that's my process. And of course, on the natural nail, I applied the dehydrator and the bonder, of course. And then, again, each tip I'm going in, and you see me, I'm brushing in this extend gel, which is like essentially a builder gel, and it's good for the adhesion of the nail tip. And you can see through the middle, I drop a little bit more of that extend gel. Again, I'm basically building the apex from the underneath, if that makes sense. Again, this is so they're not super flexible. Let me not portray that to you, but any minor flexibility, I kind of want to take out as much as possible. Again, just because I have the crystals and they're adhering to a flat surface, and if you add flexibility to that surface, that can cause issues. So that's what I'm doing, and then I cure them in the light. You can see I'm applying a little more towards where the apex would be on the nail, towards the center where the free edge of my natural nail might sit. And you see I'm just dropping some of that gel. I cure it in the lamp. Now this is cured. And then I'm going to apply it to my natural nail. So I'm applying a thin layer kind of where I think my natural nail will end, and then a little bit more product towards the cuticle area, pressing it down so at a 45-degree angle and pushing it forward. You can see that gel just going through the entirety of the nail, and then I hold it down and cure. It's kind of hard for me to show that on camera, but my tip is to have your lamp hanging off the edge of your desk. And if you can remove the bottom of it, if you have a lamp of that style, that's even better. And then hold it while you cure it. And it's not too difficult, honestly. The ease of how well these are shaped and the frustration of having to build a set is really way less than the learning curve to have to cure these. That makes sense. So I am using a carbide bit, the diamond. Nope, it's not a carbide bit. I lied. It's a diamond bit. It is a crosscut bit. That's what I was trying to say. And I'm going around the cuticle area just to make that flush. And so it looks like it's growing out, like it's a nice, beautiful set we did. And you can't tell that these were just quickly done. And I want to say, although it's one hand, I did these. I did another video showing it, and I swear the time is the same. I did these in about 18 minutes. So you can't really beat that. I mean, I know there's some very fast nail techs out there, but for me, 18 minutes a hand. I mean, it'd probably be, I wouldn't say it would double if I do both hands because, you know, the prep and stuff would kind of be combined, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, that's just very quick. And that's without shaping, not having to shape the nails and everything like that. It's a breeze. I really like full cover nails, especially the fact that they will last as long as a regular built up set of acrylic or builder gel. So now I'm just using the hand file. I'm just kind of blending the cuticle area just a little bit more. We don't have to get 100% perfection as far as smoothing the surface. The nail tips, of course, are already smooth and beautiful and dang near perfect. But again, we're trying to make it flush. You can get edges, ridges. I said edges, ridges when you hand file, especially with a straight file. You're trying to move around curved edges. But because of the design we're doing, you're not going to be able to tell. If we were doing like a chrome or something that you could really tell the surface of the nail, then maybe, you know, you'd want to be more cautious. But we're not, so boom. So I'm just removing the shine from the nail. And I felt like the tips on some of them kind of, I don't know, came up. So I just made it very flush and smooth. Just a nice structure. Surface to put our design on. My words tonight. I'm recording this voiceover way too late in the night. But I want to get this video up ASAP because I love these nails so much. And I actually posted a video because how many times can you say actually? And I had to take a break from these nails just because I couldn't decide on the design at all. So I did these. I got them to a certain point before the bling, and I have to give it time. And I was just thinking about it on and off. The next day, I worked out, exercised, went on a walk, and I'm just thinking about what's the design on these nails. I'm just staring at them. I'm sure my love is probably like, what are you doing? Just staring at these nails. So I'm applying just white to the nails that we're going to do this ombre marble on. And I do 2 coats. Again, as always, I will frustrate you guys and tell you this is a color that I am testing out. And, but I will tell you a great white is the Madam Glam Perfect White. So if you're in the market for a decent white, a very good white, I'd recommend that. It cures very well, decent pigmentation, good. I'll bump it up from decent to good. It actually is good. So if you're looking for one, and also I do a black, and I recommend Madam Glam's Perfect Black, but there's really good brands out there. You guys know, I work with Madam Glam, and that's not why I recommend it, but I have a lot of their colors, a lot of their gels, because I like them, so that's why I choose to work with them and promo their products. So, that's the chicken and the egg situation. Make that clear. I like their products, so I promote them. and not the other way around. Okay, so I do 2 coats of the gel polish, each finger, each color, and get ready for our design. So I decided to do a triangle on the pinky, a black triangle. I don't know, I didn't really have an idea. Let me just say this. I knew I wanted to do the ombre marble. I was looking through my favorites, my pictures that I have readily available in videos of clients' nails or just nails I really like. And I was going through like summer ones that I did and I really liked them. And so I'm like, man, I want to do something with that. And that's really what I had. And I had decided for whatever reason, I wanted to pair it with black. I felt like the contrast would be nice. And that's really all I knew. So I was like, well, let me add more black. And I'm just telling you, I was just making it up as I went. So I did that, and then I went ahead and top coated with no wipe top coat. And it's not actually the Madame Glam one, but again, I'm referring you to a good one. Joy and Me is a good one. The Poochie's Nails is a good one. There's several good no wipe top coats out there. And I'd recommend to you to try this design beforehand on some sample nails because all the products are going to work differently. So I'm using the Cherry or Sherry times nail job. I never know how you say that. Marble tints in those 3 colors. And I'm mixing acetone and alcohol, this cleansing alcohol, which smells like cherries. And again, you can use a marbling ink. You can do this over matte opposed to shiny. I tried it. I tried all the combinations that I could think of realistically. Because one, I forgot how I did them last year or 2 years ago, whatever it was. And, you know, the results are different. So I tried marbling this over matte and using acetone to move it around, using alcohol to move it around. I tried marbling it over shiny top coat and using straight acetone, straight alcohol, and then with them mixed. And I decided I liked it over a shiny top coat with them mixed. And I do about a 50-50 mix. So I just apply the ink, and you can just see how I'm just dabbing it around and manipulating it how I want. And those colors just kind of mix. Not kind of, they do mix basically automatically as soon as they touch each other. I would say go with a light hand, you'll see, because you don't want it running into your cuticle at all. I did that a little bit, not even thinking, on my ring finger, if you can tell, in my cuticle area. I just let it run. I'll let it get too close. And I'd recommend holding your hand down so that gravity will pull it down if you add too much. because you can remove it from the tip of the nail if it goes too far. But it's so freaking hard to get out the cuticle area if you get it back there, especially this dark blue that I have. So you'll see me just manipulating this. I'm kind of removing it off that black because you could see that pink in a weird way, and I actually didn't do the best job, I found out, of removing it. So I'm just using that mixture just to clean up my little black triangle that I don't know is there for, but I like it and I'm embracing it. And I'm going to also outline the edge of the nail in black. I decided to do that with my samples that I was trying out, and I just like how it looked. Again, that contrast of those bright marble colors. Sorry, I hit my desk here. And with that black, just boxing it in and setting a boundary, essentially, visually, of where those bright colors can go. And you'll see me going back and forth, and I just kind of want them to blend around the same area of each nail. But of course, the smaller the nail, like the pinky, like smaller size tips, because the pinky's a smaller size tip, it's shorter in length, which absolutely makes sense, but that's for another video to talk about. So I have to kind of make it proportionately ombre the same, so it doesn't look like, you know, it's the weird cousin that don't belong in the situation. So you'll see me going back and forth, and also just making sure I could get the colors mixed, make sure I'm not blending orange for a long time, or pink is half the nail and the other nail pink is a quarter of the nail. Y'all know what I'm saying. Like, it's all technical. I'm just mixing and blotching colors. So I keep on going back to this pinky because it's just not right. And at a point, you'll see me right there. I swipe the color off because I feel like the orange came down too far. And you'll see, also weirdly enough, you'll see it start looking red until it's top coated. Then it'll look like a neonish orange. But I feel like it came down too far, so I just swiped it off and kind of added more yellow and moved that blend up some. And I do want to interject and show you guys, you see how I'm just barely like kind of painting it around the cuticle area. I'm not doing big blobs of liquid. I'm just kind of, yeah, like I said, painting it around the cuticle area, and I'm keeping the blobs away when I drop the liquid away from the cuticle area so it doesn't run in there. So keep that in mind. All right, so after I completed the marble and got it where I wanted it, I went ahead and outlined all the nails, well, beside the solid black one, with the black. And I'm using the Poochie's Nails Striper. I've been liking it. You guys know I've been using the Wildflowers Nail Striper for years. I've done thousands of lines with it. Works absolutely fine. I mean, it was getting older. And one day I was messing with my art stuff in my nail drawers, and I came across this. Poochie actually sent it to me probably a few years ago by now, and I just been having it put up. And I was like, well, let me try this. And it works well. I wouldn't say it works any better or worse than the Wildflowers Nails one. I feel like I can successfully do designs and get them how I want them with both of them. So I don't even know if she still sells this brush also. So maybe not, but if so, yeah. Anyways, so I want to tell you guys, it is so important that you try this design beforehand. One, let this air dry before you top coat. They don't cure, let them air dry, or the pigment, the ink will move around. And then also, my next tip, you to try this on a tip or a sample nail beforehand, because different top coats can affect these inks differently. So I will say that, I'll tell you what happened is I was like, let me try putting a matte top coat on this, because my next step was to do line work, and it's easier to do line work on a matte surface. And then the whole thing just was a wash. So you see my pointer finger, I actually had to wipe it off, and it stained the white, which is kind of pretty if you, right? So I had to redo my pointer finger all over again. So try out, I'm not going to say like you have to use a very specific one, a no wipe one, or even a wipe one. I usually use a wipe one, but I don't know, it's usually the Kiara one, but I think I ran out. But one, no matter which one you're using, make sure it's fully dry, let it air dry a few minutes. And I had to go to sleep after this because I didn't know what I wanted to do, and it's already super late. So like I said, I played with these designs, and I had put different color stones on them, I knew I wanted to do some line work. I decided I didn't do that ring. I felt like a little much. And I actually have beef with that because I was trying to practice putting that ring in there, and I freaking stabbed my finger because it just suddenly went through the plastic. Like, I shouldn't have expected that, duh. So I got mad at the little screwdriver, and I just threw it in the drawer because I felt like it had a personal vendetta and harmed me. So the crystals that I'm using, I feel like these match so well. I'm so happy. I kind of wish, so this is the, I'm just skipping words. This is the electric pink, the electric orange delight, the electric violet delight. This is majestic blue. It's a regular crystal. And then citrine yellow. So I'm happy. They're not perfect. I kind of wish that electric one, and I mean, not the electric, yeah, the regular electric one that's not the delight, the pink one. I kind of feel like I wish that then another part of me doesn't, because I like the variety, because the blue and the yellow are standard crystals. You have the two delights and the one regular electric. Anyways, and I'm also using these beads. I ran out of my regular caviar micro gold micro beads, whatever. I had a little left. And then I realized Daily Charm, I had got this little set for like Valentine's Day with the gold micro beads. So I use that, and always you can use code tabitha and the number 10 at Daily Charm. They have so many good nail art supplies. So definitely check them out. You guys know I use them all the time. And I said it before, I've used them before I was a licensed nail tech. When I started nail school, I've just always enjoyed their brand and their variety of nail art supplies and etc. Boom. So I did this straight line. I didn't know exactly how I wanted to do it. You see my little sample test nail. And at first I was going to do like just one of each color and like put black in between, like blue, black crystals, purple, black crystals. You know what I'm saying? With gaps. And black crystal. These are not black, they're actually graphite. And they're literally, if you want a black crystal that's sparkly, I would go with these. Because if you use jet crystals, they're not going to sparkle. they don't refract the light. So light doesn't go into the whatever science is with crystals, and which gives off the rainbow when it hits the sun. That doesn't happen with jet crystals. It's just literally the surface, the cuts on the surface just have to hit it right for it to kind of look shiny. It's kind of like how that electric pink crystal is. It doesn't actually sparkle just because the cuts, the facets on the surface will hit the light right. And so you're just seeing light hit it. It's not actually refracting it and actually sparkling and doing crystal-like effects. Okay, not that it's not crystal, but you know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, so if you want something that is literally going to sparkle, use the graphite. If you want a black stone, it is not pitch black, but it is super, super close to black. It's like the darkest gray before you get to black, and you can't really tell. You wouldn't say, oh, you got gray stones. You would say you have black stones. So that's my recommendation. And so you see how I did this. I did the center row. I cured it. Before I cured it, you see, I talked through it, but I blended out the gel, the crystal gel. And this is the one that I'm trying, but of course I will say the Daily Charm one is great. So I blended that out before I cured it. I want to get those center crystals done. I put the gold beads and I cured it. And I want to make sure it's blended out so I don't have a bulge when I'm trying to put the black crystals on the side of it. Then I filled in the black crystals. I set some of the gold beads in there, got it all right, cured it, did one side first. Off camera, I did the other side. So boom, that's where we are. I just buffed the nails because they were top coated shiny because I did them the day before and needed to protect them. So I buffed them so I have a beautiful surface to adhere my nail art and to do my designs and everything on. So I decided, and I tossed and turned about this, and I decided to use these water slides, or what do you call them? These water decals. I can't think of the word right now, just seen it. And so because I like the gold, I like them. I felt like I could make them work. So I got these from Daily Charm, and I'll say it again, you can use code tabitha10 when you shop. And they're from rap artists or rap nail artists. You see, scroll back and you'll see what they are. And this look, my only qualm about this is the fact that the sheet that I showed you is all that they send. There's no second sheet. So there's kind of an awkward amount of designs. Like you definitely couldn't do all 10. They don't even, it's weird how it is, but for what I'm doing, it worked. But I wish they really had a second sheet. And like this cuticle one you see on this ring finger, it just, there was only like two sizes, kind of big and small. So it was just weird. Anyways, so I soaked them in. I followed the instructions on the back. I soaked them in water for 20 seconds, some more, slid them off, applied it. Make sure you blot the excess water off with a paper towel. Mine just kind of air dried because I was so indecisive. I didn't even put it on camera. Like I slid these on all the nails in all different directions in different ways, trying to see how I wanted them. So this set is really just me. I don't have a super clear path at any moment of what I want to do. I just kind of know what the essence of what I'm trying to accomplish. So I top coated the decals, as you've seen, and then I buffed the surface again because it's easier to do line work on a matte surface, but I didn't actually want to use a matte top coat because I don't want to bulk up the nail. So I cured it, make sure those decals were nice and locked in because I knew I was going to do artwork over them. So I wanted to make sure they were secured and flat and top coated before I did that. So that's why. And then also I was going to do crystals. Again, want to make sure they were flat and secured before I did that. So with this nail art that I'm doing, like the line work I'm doing, I am just freestyling it. Literally, I have no plan. I'm just kind of going with where the lines take me and the decal, and just going where it takes me. And just seeing how it feels. I knew I wanted to make it symmetrical. That's what I knew. I wanted it to be symmetrical in design, and I wanted it to be geometric. And that's that. And it essentially is beside, like, the curve on this cuticle water decal on the ring finger that I'm working on right now was the only thing that kind of threw me. But I wasn't mad at it. But I was real serious that I wanted everything to be geometric, nothing kind of organic or rounded. But that worked because it has the like diamond rhombus shape in the middle. And yeah, so that's how I really think about stuff, like just the shapes of things on the nail, the aesthetic of that. And it kind of bothers me, it kind of works. The end. And so, like I said, I'm just freestyling. And for the black that I'm using, I generally use the from Nail Labo, I forget. And they have these gel art pens that I've had for years, and I usually use those. I'm actually using a black gel polish, so I'm recommending, if you want a good brand, to check out Nail Labo. It's NailLabo. You can find them on Instagram. Yeah. So definitely check those out. And they sell them on Ocean Nail Supply too, these gel art pens. And I usually actually don't use the pen, as you could see. I usually, because it's a really good pigmented product, I usually dish it out on a nail form or a palette or whatever and use it like that. But also I have the Wildflowers nail painting art gels that work pretty good. But like I said, I'm testing out a black gel polish that has really, really good pigment. But, if you have one at your disposable, yeah, I promise I know words in English and can speak. If you have a good black gel polish at your disposal, definitely use it. What we're looking for is not to have to go over the lines more than once, unless, something comes up. We don't know what's coming up, but, you don't want to do all this intricate artwork and then have to go over it twice. So a very good pigmented line art gel or gel polish is important. So let me catch up with what's going on camera. So I put my crystal gel down and I'm putting crystals on, and I'm just setting them on there just to see how I feel, because at this point I didn't know what I was going to do. And I actually introduced volcano crystals, and this was very hard to me. I actually went on Instagram live. I paused it after this, went on live, and was like, man, what do y'all think? Because the graphite crystals, aka the black crystals, I'll call them black crystals, they can kind of look like moles in a weird way, even though they are sparkly just on that bright color. But then I felt like I wanted to coordinate the crystals on the nail with where they go, like the pink stone and the pink area of the marble, blah, 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 blah. But I knew that, but I didn't know I needed accent crystal. So I used the volcano crystal. Long story short, we decided, and I used the gold beads, as you can see. And I cured them. I made this, I edited this down real short, like I was decisive, but I was not. Oh man, that probably was an hour and a half of me moving the crystal around, being indecisive, and being on Instagram live and stuff. And the reason I use the volcano crystals is because they literally reflect all the colors. They reflect the blue, purple, pink, orange, and yellow, depending on where they're at. And I set them on there, and I'm like, man, I don't have them in the middle bling nail, which kind of bothered me. But when I put them on there, I wasn't mad at it. I wasn't mad at the whole look of the set. So boom. So next I sealed in the crystals again with a sealer gel that I'm trying out, but you can just take some no wipe top coat on a fine brush, go over those beads and around those crystals, never top coat over the crystals. Use shiny top coat over the beads and cure that. So then I'm going in with a matte top coat. Daily Charm has a great one. It's their velvet matte top coat. Use code tabitha and the number 10 for a discount. If I can catch a breath, let me breathe. And so you can see I'm going around the stone, I'm not literally going around, I'm avoiding them, but literally going around the perimeter of them. And I'm using a fine brush just to outline the beads. We don't want to use the matte top coat over the beads or the crystals. Okay, so let me back it up. Shiny, no wipe top coat over the beads and around the lip of the stones to seal them in. Cure that. With the matte top coat, we're going around the perimeter, outlining them. So not over the lip and not touching them, just as close as possible to the beads and the crystals without touching them. And this takes some time, and I recommend if you're a nail tech to charge more for crystals on matte top coat because it's much more intricate, and like I said, it just takes more time to do it and perfect it. Because also what you need to make sure is that you get it right the first time, because if you miss any area, it's going to be obvious, it's going to yell and scream at you, and you're going to have to go back over it with matte top coat. If you have a design like this, it can kind of matte out the design too much, like it's too frosted. It can look it can give it a cool look sometimes, but probably not what you're looking for, especially if it's just one nail and now this one nail looks different. You don't want to have to file it off. So basically make sure you got this 100% covered everywhere except the beads and the crystals, of course. So I usually line it like 2 or 3 times and go back in with the big brush, the like regular brush that comes with the bottle, just to make sure all bases are covered around the cuticle area. And then I cure that, and this is our final look. And you can probably tell how much I've been talking that I'm just real excited about this set. I love it so very much. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up, please. This was 5 hours of footage that I had to edit down. It took me a whole day. I ate and cooked dinner and stuff, but when I wasn't doing anything productive, well, outside of this, work, being productive, I was editing this. And so just give me a thumbs up and a comment for that. Just comment yay or something. Something, you know what the cool kids do. Some kind of emoji, I don't know. Y'all decide. Y'all come together as a group. So I really want to thank you guys for watching and spending these almost 40 minutes with me. Look how sparkly it is. I love like I said before, the contrast of the matte with the bling, with the gold, with the black. I'm just in love with these nails. Usually, y'all know when I do some nails on myself, I'll probably pop them off and take them off. I'm going to want to keep these on for a minute. I love the length of them. Just everything. So, you guys, don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up the video. That really, really helps me. Like I said, I'm actually going to start taking a few clients back, recording. I'm getting some new content for you guys. So, like I said, ring the bell so you can keep up to date. And yeah, you guys, thank you a million times over. And don't forget, how can you forget? Be kind to each other, please, because you never know. Bye.